right. Hey, welcome to week 4 in our discussion of toxic masculinity here on the DudeFax Podcast. Just a reminder, what we're doing is we're going to take 4 weeks each month to cover a topic. And so I guess technically this is episode 1.4, 1D, I don't know.
Yeah.
One of those two, whatever you want. But it's our fourth look into the idea of toxic masculinity, biblical masculinity, and where truth is. And that we've covered a lot of ground already. And so today, in just a moment, when we get into our discussion, it's going to be based on some very practical things of how can Christian men redeem biblical masculinity in our culture. So with me, as always, today, we have JT, we have Factoid, and we have Hugh Janus.
Close enough.
Okay.
Janus. What's up, Hugh?
Hugh. Mr. Janus? Oh, Grant. That's disgusting. Janus.
It's Mr. Janus to you.
Janus Winston.
All right. So, what I thought
Janus because the Janus.
to kind of get some. Oh.
How is Factoid?
All right. Manliest movies ever made. I have a list here. IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, or database, however you like to.
Yeah. Good old Rocky Top.
I thought that was Rocky the movie. I was like, that's going to be clever. No.
We're only about 4 weeks away from college football season.
Ooh. Can't wait.
Another
But are we?
all of disappointment.
Dude, we'll be up to like the Pac-8 at that point. Woo!
Yeah, is Oregon in a conference?
The Pac-2.
They're in the Pac-2.
It's like Idaho State in the Pac-8 now.
Something like that.
I did hear that the SEC is pulling away from the NCAA in like 2 years. Anyways, we'll talk about that whenever it happens. So, in our discussion of masculinity, manhood, so I have a list here. They actually have given 76 movies. I'm going to read them all off.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'll call out some highlights, but what I want to do first is what do you believe or think are some of the most masculine movies ever made? Excuse me.
Bruh.
Is on the top of that list.
I got not only the most masculine movie, or one of the most masculine movies, but the single most masculine scene in a movie is in Predator, when Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger greet each other for the first time, and they do that like arm lock thing, and like you just see both of them just flexing. It's pretty manly.
Hey Ryan, that's the number one movie on the list.
Is it really?
Ooh, nailed it.
Yeah.
I'm sure number 2 is Footloose, Kevin Bacon.
No,
Especially the scene in the warehouse when he's dancing.
Yeah,
That's,
that whole montage.
yeah,
Very manly.
That's what I think of.
Montage.
I think Gladiator. I don't know. I mean, you got Maximus, who just is
You're
like
not entertained.
ultimate man strength, and then put him up against Commodus, who's just this whiny, kind of effeminate baby. That's masculine.
It is number 12 on the list.
Okay.
It says, fighting to the death is manly. So it gives little statements for each of them.
And then Gladiator 2, I just watched on a plane this past week, and it was really good. Equally manly. So, yeah.
My favorite part was where Denzel Washington's character says, "King Kong ain't got nothing on me."
That was. I was surprised to use that line again.
I know. It was equally effective, though,
Yeah,
honestly.
it was.
All right, what else do you think?
Is Walk to Remember on there?
Gotta be.
It is.
I mean, I cried my eyes out when he wrecked his Camaro. Whew.
I mean, everybody's favorite Christmas movie, Die Hard. That's got to be on the list.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Ho, ho, ho.
John McClane.
Yeah, Die Hard is on the list. Oh, it doesn't tell me. If I type it in, it doesn't tell me which one it is. But it is on. That does make the list.
Any of the Rockies?
Oh, yeah. Rocky IV in particular.
Yeah. U.S. versus Russia.
Single-handedly defeats communism.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Rocky is on the list.
It's not on the list.
Really?
But
What year did Rocky IV come out? I'm looking that up.
Rocky IV, 80.
I mean, you can't watch Rocky IV
It-
and not have at least 3 or 4 chest hairs sprout.
It's true.
Hey, that came out in 85, and the Berlin Wall came down in 88. Or 89, rather, right?
Yep.
Probably
So
not.
maybe we need a...
Direct correlation.
Yeah, let's get Sly to make another movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Passion of Christ is on here.
Passion
Dude, the
of the
book-
Christ, really.
Okay.
The book was so much better.
Yeah. Movie took a few liberties.
So number 1 is Predator. Numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all Rambo movies.
Oh,
With
The same one?
different Sly.
with First Blood being the top of that. Number 7 and number 8, The Expendables.
Seriously? That's
I
just
feel like that's a little high.
old man.
Yeah.
Who made this list?
Yeah, I don't know who made it. Terrible list. Braveheart number 10.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Patriot. Gran Torino was 14.
Old man.
That's a
Yeah,
good
it's
old man movie, though.
Yeah. No Country for Old Men. That's good.
Major
What boomer made this list?
Major Pain is 25. Y'all remember?
That was on my first date movie with Stephanie.
Oh.
Major Pain?
Yep.
Let's see. I saw another one that I thought was interesting.
Wicked.
Oh, so Full Metal Jacket. I really thought it would be much higher, but it's 49.
Oh, wow.
Thought
I
it'd be
think a lot of people get thrown off by the second half of that movie.
Yeah, that guy was kind of a weenie.
well, there you
If
go.
we're talking about toxic masculinity.
So, so just what some people think are the manliest numbers. Oh, well, let's see, Grant. That one would be From Paris with Love.
Not
Which I
surprised.
Oh, I thought it was Brokeback
From
Mountain.
Paris, that's the John Travolta.
Description says, I don't know if it's blurry. It says my boss told me I had to add this movie to the list. It's not.
What about Hairspray with John Travolta? Very
Yeah,
manly.
very.
He plays a woman.
Actually, speaking of John Travolta, was it Face Off? It's a pretty
Ooh,
manly movie.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
arm wrestling one?
So are musicals manly? Can men watch musicals?
I feel like
I watched Les Mis.
I mean, what Jean Valjean and
Yeah.
Miz, pretty manly character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and you got Russell Crowe just staring at him creepily from a window.
Yeah. Gladiator.
Yep.
I mean, Fiddler on the Roof. That's all about a dad trying to raise his daughters. And
Fiddler. Hardly know her.
Oliver Twist.
yeah, so a lot of good movies out there. We're going to move on, and now talk about redeeming manhood.
Can you tell we recorded this one last?
We're all tired.
Oh man.
Hey, if you didn't know, we're doing this all in one evening. So this was recorded a month ago.
That's why I'm wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, same here.
I turned my hat around. It obviously means it's a different day.
Notice Jeff was wearing a different hat in each episode.
Yeah.
You get a point.
Wait,
It's an Easter
Ryan,
egg.
turn your hat around again.
It needs to be a game. It needs to be like
What is
Spock
it,
edition.
Saturday?
Oh no, we time traveled.
And by the way, I thought Major Pain was a documentary about me.
Who are you pointing at?
I'm not gonna say it.
I have no idea who's to your left.
Oh, is my name on this side?
I was wondering. I thought you were pointing to me. I was like, "Are you talking about manhood going deeper again?"
That's what you were talking about a month ago.
That was so 3 weeks ago.
I don't think our names, the names we have, show up on the podcast, though.
Oh, bummer.
That's probably for the best.
It is a bummer.
Bummer.
Can we just stop right here? I mean,
Yeah, this is all you need. 10 minutes of this.
The wrap up to the.
This is all David Cates wants.
Yeah.
that's what we should do. The fourth episode should always be, you know, and
Jesus going like this.
Yeah.
It's definitely happening right now.
You dang picklewood.
Ooh. I can talk about Manly.
Someone dropped a
Carl
dollar.
Roach.
Why did I let those four guys meet each other? So do y'all want to talk about this last topic?
We have
Let's do it.
So, I wanted to share a verse that has not, I don't think it's been shared yet, and it's probably the most to the point verse about masculinity.
I do love our transitions.
Whiplash. So, 1 Corinthians 16:13-14. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love. Now, if you have a girly transition to the Bible, it'll act like men, and it'll say something like courageous, strong. But in the Greek, it says act like men. Paul was telling the guys there at the church in Corinth to be men and act like a man should. And then that just begs the question, well, what are they supposed to do? And in that verse, there's the phrase "be watchful," being on guard against the things of the enemy, standing firm in your faith, knowing what you believe and why you believe it, strength, and that's of course inner strength, but I think it's good for men to develop their physical strength as they can. And then there's this odd phrase at the that doesn't seem to fit. But he says, act like men, be strong, let all that you do be done in love. And as men, I think a lot of times the word love is something that seems unmanly. Like when we think about loving people, that's fine. I just want to serve and help, But that idea of love is kind of messed up in our culture and in our understanding. We've talked about this on the podcast before. That when Paul wrote this, he was talking about a very specific kind of love, and it not necessarily an emotional love, but one that you've just determined. I'm going to give other people what's best. I'm going to give them what they need, what is best for them, and I'm going to do it regardless of what it costs me. That was the love of God in sending Jesus. I kind of want to then put the question out there. What does it mean for men to how do we love like men? How do we love like God loved? What does that look like in some areas just in our life? We want to ask the question of how do we begin to build back biblical masculinity in our lives, maybe even in our churches, definitely in our culture. As we go about our days, and we're called to be watchful, stand firm, and act in love, respond in love, and that's kind of how we act in. What does that look like? I've got a few things to offer here, but I think first I'll just throw that out to you guys, just very practically, not so much. And you can go to scripture if you want, but very practically playing this out. What are some ways, maybe even in your life, that you've tried to act like a man, loving others the way God has loved us? What does that look like for you?
I'll say one thing that we haven't really brought up, I don't think. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not saying I do great at this, but I recognize it in others in terms of how they've loved me as men, and it's investment in especially younger men, regardless of what age you are, but investing in that next generation, loving our sons, loving our, church body of young men and believers, and teaching them how to be a man. But not only that, being present for them, demonstrating what it means to be a godly man, teaching, admonishing them, at the same time, just being watchful and looking out for the needs of others. It's, a lot of times we think, well, I want to build something for myself. I want to build my own kingdom. I want to build my own, nest egg, wealth, whatever, and retire and do all those things. We build up our own, but really, I think we're doing what Jesus desired when we make that investment and we serve others. We put others' needs, as priority, and we look at how to build that next wave of believers, that next generation. It's making disciples, and I think it's investing part of ourselves in people rather than things of this earth.
I would build on that too, also saying that it's, as men and men of God, we need to hold each other accountable. Proverbs, tells us that iron sharpens iron. That's when we talk about how we interact with each other and investing in one another, like that is a key point there, is like keeping each other in check. And, when somebody is doing something that, maybe a little toxic or a little, kind of out of line and out of what God calls us to be as men, say something, be that accountability for your brothers.
Yeah. Setting an example too. Man, as our good friend Kayev, who's got you covered, he would always say in that goofy ad years ago in the movie theater, "Picture's worth 1,000 words." But if you just model it well, show what it looks like to be a man following God and loving your wife, loving your children, serving others, emoting appropriately, loving and living like Jesus. A lot of what is seen will be caught. I mean, we could tell people what to do all day long, but living it out. I mean, the man is the message. So providing people opportunities through investing in their life and inviting them into your life, doing life-on-life evangelism, and really being aware of, man, the way that I treat my spouse or the way that I talk to this person that I'm having a disagreement with right now, people are going to catch that. And they're going to see what it looks like to be a follower of Jesus by seeing a follower of Jesus. So maybe acts like it.
And I really think it's not that, like you're saying, it's not that complicated. When Jesus called these 12 men to be his disciples, like that invitation was, "Come follow me." And there's a lot wrapped up in that phrase, in those two words, "follow me." Like, it wasn't just physically following him around, but it was to learn how he lived, how he spoke, how he ministered, how he interacted with people, how he obeyed the Father, how he laid his life on the line in obedience. And I think like it can be easy to try to come up with a list. Well, let's do these things, but the key to understanding how to live in biblical manhood is to study the life of Christ. Be in the Word. We don't want to forget the fact that Jesus is 100% God in flesh. He is God as in human form. And so we're able to see in him all the examples of what godliness is in so many different ways, including in manhood. And so we've got to begin there anyways. If we're as men, if we want to redeem manhood in our life, if we want to see it redeemed in our culture, we need to know who Jesus is, and we need to be active. We need to spend time in his word. We need to spend time in prayer, listening to him, reminding ourselves of who he said he is. And I want to go back like 3 episodes, Jeff, the one you did where you talked about Mark Driscoll. And kind of the idea of I guess that would be 2. You were the second episode. I don't know. Either way.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. Weeks ago. You could.
It was a fortnight ago.
A fortnight.
You
A
mentioned
fortnight?
he mentioned that he couldn't worship a God that he thinks he could beat up, and he said that he thinks a lot of churches are presenting a weak, and I agree with that. I don't agree with his statement of that he couldn't worship a God that he feels like he could physically beat up. But I agree with the fact that I think there are some things even in Christian culture that kind of go the other way. For instance, when we think about the songs that we sing to him, there are a lot of great songs out there. There are a lot of great songs with great theology and depth, both old and new. But there's a lot of stuff that seems to be out there, both old and new, that is just really seems like very effeminate, and it's I think it's fitting to remember that a lot of modern Christian music is written for radio plays, and most Christian radio stations, their demographic is middle-aged moms, and so some of the songs might appeal more to them. So I just kind of wanted to say I can feel that as well when I listen to some Christian music that's out there, that I feel like maybe we're missing some of who Jesus is. So we need to look at the whole picture of who he revealed himself to be, and that's going to be in his word. So some of the things
I might say that.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just say that I might say that part of the problem there is that it's almost like there's this confusion where people think that to portray Jesus and show people that he's loving, they also end up showing like a passive Jesus, but Jesus is anything but passive. Being having self-control and being humble and all those things that we've talked about, that doesn't mean that Jesus was a passive. He's not a passive God, and that's not what he calls us to be. Jesus does command that we worship, and that is a defining characteristic that I think is missed out a lot of times in the current Christian cultural representation of Jesus.
Josh, you bring up an interesting maybe sidebar here related to the topic, but I've heard that a lot about modern worship, is that it gives sort of an effeminate tone or vibe to it. Do you think it's more through the lyrical content, or is it more sort of the music, the way it's structured, the emotionalism of it, that maybe comes off more effeminate? I'm just curious.
Yeah, my original thinking was lyrics, but on the musical part, I do think that some of it's written in a way to. I want to be careful because I don't want to say this is absolutely the truth, but I wonder if some of it is written in a way for the purpose of manipulating an emotional response.
I think music does that in general, and has been the case because you go to a Coldplay concert, you see people closing their eyes and raising their hands because they're wrapped up in the music. I mean, they could be singing about butt farts and they're still holding up their hands praising because the way the music sounds. And so I heard somebody say that a couple years ago, that statement about music being effeminate. And I really started trying to listen more intently. I'll just be honest. There's a lot of times, I mean, I'll listen to the lyrics of a song with some modern worship, but unless something really jumps out to me as, well, wait a second, that's not biblical. I don't really put a ton of thought into it. But I really started listening more critically, trying to hear, what are they saying that is more feminine? And I couldn't tell that there was a whole lot, especially as it relates to Jesus, that was unbiblical. I mean, it does focus a lot on his love. And I hear people complaining even about modern preaching that focuses too much on love, 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 love. And I understand that we need to teach all of Scripture and, teach, the good, what we would feel like are the good parts and the bad parts, the good news and the bad news. But overall, the Bible is God's redemption plan for mankind, and that is a love story. And so I wrestle with that a lot because I feel personally more that the music itself kind of comes off feminine rather than, or effeminate. I mean, I hate to say feminine's a bad thing, but not masculine. Than the lyrics sometimes. I don't know, and I could be wrong.
And I'm not saying that Jesus being loving is effeminate. I think some of the wording though can seem less. I think men might feel uncomfortable singing some of the things
Sure.
that are there because it doesn't sound manly. But
Sloppy wet kiss.
Yeah.
I love sloppy wet kiss.
I just want
Open mouthed.
to start singing of God's wrath forever.
Hey, he did write a song, God of Wrath.
One.
David Crowder.
Crowder did, yeah. So we're way off kind of the top, but but I think that's all part of it. Like,
Yeah, I think it's relevant to the conversation.
yeah, I mean, Jesus defines what's manly. We don't, and then place it on him and say he is or he isn't. We look at him and who he is, and yes, he's beautiful and he's loving and he's compassionate and he's gracious and he's merciful. But he's also a jealous God and a God of vengeance and a God of wrath. And there are these things, but ultimately we get our definition from Christ about who we're to be. And, as you look at the life of Christ, you see a lot of things that don't line up with what culture says men are, or men should be. There's a focus on the least of these out there. There's a focus on submitting yourself to other people. There's a focus on serving before being served. There's a focus on speaking truth, but doing so graciously and not out of anger. And there's a Jesus that we talked about that flips over tables, yet he slept on it first, or he built a whip while he was thinking on it. It was under control and it was purposeful. And all throughout his life, his goal is to honor the Father as he brought redemption to mankind. And he took things that were broken and he made them whole. And I think that's maybe a big thing that we can think about as we begin to wrap up. And you as the listener are thinking through, processing this out in your own life is where are the broken areas around you, relationally or culturally, with people or people you see. What are some of the broken areas that God has equipped you and placed you to where you can love and serve others in the way that he would, that you could actually redeem biblical manhood within those situations, bring redemption into lives. I think the most manly thing any of us could ever do is give of ourselves to see other people come to know Christ. And I think they're some, yeah. So I don't know if that ties things up in a neat bow or not for biblical manhood. If you have any questions or comments or something you think we missed, or that we should talk about, let us know. Post that in the comments, wherever you're listening, Spotify. You can drop them on our Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok. wherever YouTube, and we'll and
Yeah, I think this is the discussion that is ongoing. It's something we can continue to talk about as as Christian men. Like how can we better ourselves, and how can we be more like the men that God calls us to be?
Grant, you got anything else to say?
Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." So men,
Socrates Johnson.
examine your lives.
Socrates Janus.
I want to write a worship song called "The Overwhelming, Never-Ending, Rugged Love of God."
Yeah.
Although it is important to keep in mind, though, God fully executed his wrath upon his own son.
For those
So, well, right, it's efficacious for those who believe, but he still fully executed his wrath against sin on his own son.
Yeah. Talk about Die Hard.
Yeah. So I think the people that can be thirsty for wrath and like, I don't know, because there are those like, oh, come on, God. Like they read the Psalms and they think, oh, David's asking for wrath against his enemies. Okay, guys, God fully executed his wrath already some 2,000 years ago.
but what about Hurricane Katrina?
More like Hurricane Tortilla.
Make yourself a dang quesadilla.
All right. So that's a good way to end, I think.
Yes. Say hi to John Heater for me.
Right over there. And Jesus' beard.
I was about to say he's like hanging out in Jesus' shoulder.
Okay.
I'll also say, listeners, keep an eye out. We'll talk about next week. We'll come back with a new topic.
Yeah.
It's our last topic,
and maybe a new soda.
Oh yeah, I think I got a few on deck.
Have you
Pick a
found
good
where the idea that we threw out a month ago about salad dressing sommelier?
Ooh, yeah. Talk about manly. There's gonna be a lot of manly noises coming out of you.
What do you call a vegetarian with the runs?
A vegetarian?
A salad shooter.
Oh man,
Nice. Maybe bring back a sensual dad joke too.
I think we need to.
What he's doing.
All right. If you're still listening, we love you.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and thank you.
We love you as men.
Are enjoying this new format, and I know we are.
Format.
I don't get the joke there.
Four.
I can't
4
wait
episodes. 4 guys.
Oh, I'm slow. Okay.
Be even better.
I hope you'd enjoyed this episode of Grant's microphone noises.
Turned off. That's probably it. All right. We're out. We love you guys, and we'll be talking to you next time.